Hey guys, this is how you get the Of All Trades challenge in the Deepstone Crypt. The reason why I'm making this video is because, on a technical standpoint, this is one of the most technical challenges that you can do in the raid. However, from a end user standpoint, it's actually pretty easy once you know what you're doing. There's just a few little inconsistencies with the challenge, which is why I'm making this video. So without further ado, let's get started. The main concept of the challenge is to switch roles between the suppressor, the operator, and the scanner. Now, if you don't know this encounter, I'll quickly give a brief explanation of it. This encounter is one of the more easier encounters in the raid, and it basically comprises of you going to these core terminals and taking them out and dunking them in before they explode. There are 3 roles which 3 of you need to take. The operator will stop unnecessary cores from being generated. So for example, normally there are 3 cores that spawn. With the operator, you need to shoot a panel next to the core dispenser to make that 2. There are only 2 bins which are able to be dunked in at once per round. So this is obviously really important to sort of do, as you're going to have an extra core just lying around. The scanner will tell you what bins to dump the cores in, and the suppressor will allow you to actually dump the cores into the dispensers, otherwise it'll just be offline and you won't be able to dunk them. All you need to do then is complete that 5 more times, and then the encounter is complete. You all go to the middle and run through. So now I've given a basic overview of the encounter. How does the All Trades challenge work? In its simplest form, everyone needs to use at least one of the buffs. There are going to be 18 buffs changes in total, so you need to count all of them and coordinate who is swapping out which buff. On screen now is a really helpful chart to show you what buffs will go to which player at which times. To read this table, you need to read it downwards as you go on and on and on throughout the encounter. Player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 corresponds to the order in which you see in the roster. The roster is the same for everyone, so there should not be any problems or miscommunication as who is what player. Rounds will advance every time 2 cores are dunked in the center of the room. Once those 2 cores have been dunked, you move on to the following round, all the way until round 6. Starting from round 1, the first player will pick up the scanner, the 3rd player will pick up the operator, and the 5th player will pick up the suppressor. They'll then do their roles, and then once the core runners have dunked, you need to wait for a message in the bottom corner that says, "A nuclear core has been neutralized." I know this isn't the most highest quality screenshot, but it's something that I really needed to point out, as this is very important. Once you see this message, all players should gather at the first terminal in the center and swap out their buffs. There is a set order as to what buffs go in first. Make sure to always put in the scanner buff first. The scanner will take that, then the operator buff, then the operator will take that buff, and the suppressor. Make sure you do it in that order, because scanner is the most important of the raid, as if you don't have the scanner, you won't know which orbs to dunk into what bins. Therefore, you're going to be pretty stuck. So let's refer to the chart again. Say we're on round 1, we've just dunked our orbs. The scanner will go on to the next player, which is player 2. The operator will go from player 3 to player 4, and the suppressor will go from player 5 to player 6. Again, refer to the roster for player order. Okay, this is my post commentary on how we ended up doing the challenge. So in this example, I am player 4. I should have no buffs to start with, and you basically are just trying to coordinate where the buffs are spawning from. They spawn from lots of different locations, so you just need to tell your teammates where they are so that the relevant players can pick up those buffs to start off with. This is the hardest part, just trying to find all the buffs and coordinate everyone. But once you've done that, you should be able to go through with the rest of the encounter. What makes it hard is the fact that not anyone can just pick up a buff, it has to be a certain player. Otherwise you'll completely mess with the order and the rotation. So obviously grab the cores like normal and dunk them into their respective slots. This should be pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to commentate over to the switch. So you want to go over to this little pod thing here where you put your buffs in. As you can see, scanners put theirs in. Just waiting for operator to put his in. And then I will pick up operator because I am player 4. referring back to that grid again, I should be operator, and then suppressor will pick up their buff too. If you are somehow unsuccessful, you won't know until the very end when it will pop up saying challenge failed. Now, don't worry about this because there are a few reasons why this can fail. Like I said at the start of the video, this is the most technically advanced encounter and there can be a few problems with it. In the footage you're seeing now, you'll see that we actually did everything way too early and we swapped out roles before the cores were neutralized, therefore the round had not progressed and we had failed the challenge. You need to make sure that your timing is perfect, not too early and not too late. The only other reason you should fail this challenge is because of miscommunication or someone just didn't swap out their role or something along the lines of that. Other than that, you should be good to go. You will only get your rewards once you've gone to the end of the corridor and you've gone through that little cutscene and you're at the start of the final encounter. So don't worry that if you haven't got the triumph to pop up on your screen or you haven't got a bonus chest, those will appear when you've done that. I'm going to leave a link in the description to my attempt as an unlisted video, but bear in mind that we failed because of the fact that we were way too early and we just wasn't aware of the fact until after the recording. But it still should give you a general idea of what to do. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video guide helped you. If it did, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, do whatever. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.